going on specifically with Eddie Osesfo. I can't say their name. Eddie and Wendy Osesfo. I guess that's how you pronounce it. But
Cepho.
huh?
I think it's a Cepho, but you know,
Osesfo. Okay. Yeah. So if you're not familiar, so the backstory of that is that they're a couple on Real Housewives of Atlanta, more so the wife versus him. He's like more like a little just come in and out. So basically like a show for women, but he's her husband. And recently, they was arrested for fraud charges of insurance. And this brought us to lead us to the topic tonight. We're not here to bash them or anything like that. It's just using that their story as an example of not to compare yourself and not to keep up with the Joneses and stuff like that. Right,
right,
Jaquan?
right.
And so that's what we want to talk about today. Knowing that their situation, they was brought on fraud charges of insurance fraud, and it was said allegedly that they are broke. And my thing is with the way of the world is like why people want to keep up with the Joneses when the Joneses ain't for thinking about you. But
Right.
so, anything you want to say about like why people and why society or people want to keep up with other people and compare themselves to other people?
I don't know. And like in their case, they had said allegedly that they are in a bunch of debt. So we don't know like what they are really facing. We just know that they say allegedly that they are in a bunch of debt and they, had insurance fraud, been
Mhm.
indicted on charges for regarding insurance fraud. Um, and I'm not sure if they just trying to keep up with the Joneses. We don't know that. But it just seemed
Right.
like, they did this, quick rich scheme or whatever, and it got caught up with them. And the Bible does say the love of money is the root of evil. So, you got to be careful of what you're doing and how it's going to affect your life.
And I was
And
reading. Oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
I know I was gonna say what I was reading Proverbs this morning, chapter 16, verse 8 says, better is a little with righteousness than great revenues without right. And so it's like, okay, better to be content where you are, the things you have. Your situation may not be all peaches and cream right now, or you may not be financially where you want to be. I know I'm not, but at the same time, I am content where I am. Hi, Pink Star. How are you? As you
Hello.
come in, make sure you hit that like button for us. And if you like the content that we're bringing, consider subscribing to our channel. But we're talking about letting go of comparison and knowing that you are enough, or again, like being content where you are versus comparing yourself with somebody else. And as I was just stating that, letting go, being content with the other things that you have, and maybe you're not where you want to be right now, but that don't mean you can work to get where you want to be. It's just you need to do it legit, not doing illegal stuff just to put on a persona or facade that you have it all together when you really don't.
Right. You just got to be, comfortable, with who you are. I can't look at the next person and say, I want to, you can aspire to be like somebody or
Mhm.
certain things, but just be content to where you are because you are enough. And once you strive and, move accordingly, those things will come.
Yeah, they sure will, and you just have to work hard at it, um, to get to those things that you want the right way. Like I said, you don't wanna be in a situation like the Cespo, I could not say their name, like them, and be in a situation like them to cause, harm to yourself or damages to your character and putting your family at jeopardy or the things that you are doing.
Yeah, because
So
if we ever when we look at them, because I don't know if everybody know if you're coming in, this topic is inspired of what's going on with Dr. Wendy Accessible and her husband being indicted with charges against fraud, insurance fraud. So that's
mhm,
kind of where the topic of discussion is coming from. But they have a lot to lose. They have careers that's in jeopardy. You know, Wendy resigned. She probably resigned before she had got fired. But Eddie is a lawyer, and he's could potential to be losing his, law license. And then, of course, they have 3 kids that's impacted by this. If they really get indicted and charged guilty, they could possibly have jail time. And now you're taking away parents from their parental um
Parental rights, like they're basically
right.
at born at
They
this
take
point.
away from that. Block bill.
Are you a moderator, Jaquana, yourself? Yeah, you are. You got the right, so you can
Okay.
also do it too.
Okay.
Hi, I want to say Leah. That's how you pronounce your name. Thank you for joining us as you come in. Please hit the subscribe buttons for us. It is free. Um, but go ahead. What you were saying, Jaquana?
Oh, the train of thought goes.
I'm doing fine. How are you? Doing this this night, Leah? How are you? But they like you was just naming some consequences behind their actions,
Oh
and
yeah.
when you compare yourself with others, it does leave you to some consequences that are not good because when you even think about YouTube, you got all these people on YouTube that's trying to be influencers and stuff like that, and they try to be influencers, but they live in a facade. They doing stuff um that's putting them in jeopardy, like you doing things like buying all this stuff just to show that you have a lifestyle that you really don't have. And what you're doing is putting your financial situation in a compromising position. And so when you compare yourself to other, you have to keep up with a lifestyle that's really fake when you want to put it like that. And then like what are we doing it for? What are we gaining just to say you have this and that or to be like somebody else when you just be like yourself? Just
Well,
be
maybe maybe because she's on a television show or they on a television show, they want the world to think that they got all this stuff going on. So you just never know.
yeah. And then when you think about like the celebrities or people in that world or in that, the pressure that has to be on them just to keep that up. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know what we don't know what situation that they was in. The YouTube or different things said that they was allegedly broke, but we don't know that. We don't know what the cause why they chose to do what they did, but just the consequences of it. Now another consequences that is you're in debt trying to keep up a persona that you're not really afforded to or you really can't afford. And then you mess up your character. Situations like what they did, they mess up their character. So now when people look at them, is like, I don't trust anything that come out your mouth because you said you this, and that, but your actions prove to be that you were lying.
Right. And then then it's just like look at their character as far as trying to get another job. Like she was a professor at a university or whatever. They might
Hmm.
look at it and it's probably going to be hard for her to get another teaching job in the school.
That is true. Yeah. So when you look at the whole scheme of things or, comparing yourself to other people, think about why you're doing it. What's your end goal of doing this? What's the point? What's your purpose of doing this? You know what I'm saying? Like people don't really take a time and think about their actions and why are they doing it. Because if you really do take the time and think about it, you'll be like, okay, this is gonna affect me, this is gonna affect my family, uh, you'll really think about how this going to affect you in the long run.
And also, you just need to look at your inner self. Like, what is it in you that you're not secure with? What is it in you that
Right.
you're not happy with? That
Mm-hmm.
says these material things is going to please me.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like, just look at that.
Absolutely right. And because like ill-gotten gains, uh, in their situation could be like they could face jail time for their actions. And when you think about it, when people I ain't gonna say like people do scheming and stuff like that. The other wages of that can be death depending on, who you scheme to get what you got.
Right.
So you just really got to take a real hard look about your actions and what are you doing.
Right.
But yeah. And so like one of the things, like, we just don't want to come over here and just, talk about that, but like how can you um be content to where you are and not to compare yourself to other people?
Just gotta be happy about peace within yourself and God.
Yeah, that's the first thing I'm gonna say is like you got to know who you are and know who you are. Like we are believers in Christ, so our identity is hidden in Him. So being content with Him uh makes us live easier on the choices that we make. So knowing who you are and have morals, some values and morals, and I think if you have those and really stick on those, you will be mindful of the things that you do.
And another thing, you gotta be careful of who you get advice from. Because as far as we know, somebody could have gave them that advice. Man, you should do this, this, and this, and you ain't gonna get caught. You ain't gonna you'll get away with it. And they tried it,
Hmm.
so they could have did this based on somebody else giving them advice or something to do, and thinking that
That's true.
they thinking they wasn't gonna get caught. So we maybe you just
That's
don't never
true.
know what they reason why they did that.
Um, Hi, you love her. Thank you for um joining us tonight. And yeah, anything else you got to say?
For
Now I
me,
want to do like some tips on like letting go of comparison, knowing who you are enough. Like we were saying, just know who you are, know who you are. That's number one alone. When you know who you are, to me, and like we follow Christ, that kind of everything else will fall into place for me. No, it's different from each person. So, but me knowing who I am and sticking to that would help me, not compare myself to other people. And like you said in the beginning, you can say, "Oh, that's a nice thing. I might want that in life or whatever," but strive for that because when you're doing things illegal way, now you're trying to rob Peter to pay Paul, and these things can lead you into debt, lead you into jail, and possibly to the grave.
not only
So,
that, you probably got to try to keep scheming and doing different things to keep that up because that basically that lie up. You got to keep that
mhm,
lie and facade up. So you're doing this, you're doing something else, and they probably just keep adding on because they got like 17, 18 charges. So
yeah, combined together, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
no,
And
like she got 17, he got 18, something like that.
oh wow. Wow.
They got a lot of you know charges against them.
Wow. Kinda all you can say is like, wow. But you know, it's just like the consequences of your action, I guess. So
Yeah,
but my heart go out to them, even though what they did was wrong. Ain't no denying what they did was wrong.
yeah.
If they did allegedly that they did it. We don't know for sure, that's what they was arrested for, but allegedly if they did the things that they did, it was wrong. No questions of if there's a buts about it. But um yeah,
Yeah, it's brought on by them, themselves. A
yeah,
scheme is set up themselves.
yeah.
But
Anything else you got to say?
I don't have to say I don't have anything else to say, but I just hope, this conversation just was, it's short and quick, but hope it's just something inspire. We're not trying to be negative on them, but just something that this what their situation is inspire us to, come here to say, um, be who you are. Don't be trying to be somebody else, keep up with somebody else's lifestyle and just be who you are because you are you. You're unique, you're gifted yourself. You're unique by your own self. You have skills, you have talents, your own self that you can do and create avenues for yourself. So
Mm-hmm. You left us off with a good point, and we don't have
We
anything
would
left.
keep them in prayer, you guys. No, we even though they cautious on stuff, don't want to see nobody down or whatever. But just uplift them in prayer.
Not my will, but God's be done. That's
God
all I
will
have
be
to say.
done.
Um, anyway, we thank y'all for joining us tonight on Twin Talk Thursdays. Say what?
The law gonna be done too.
Yeah. So thank y'all for tuning in tonight for Twin Talk Thursdays. Again, I'm Suquana,
And I'm Joanna.
and like always, be blessed. And we are. Good night.